member of Not Your Mascots and Live Indigenous OK. She's a writer and a speaker and an advocate. She is the founder and CEO of a tribe called Geek, and she is here with us today because we need to know where we stand. Johnnie Jae, come on up.
Halito Chimachakma. Thank you all for being here today. There are people in this nation who don't understand why we are here. They don't understand why we can't turn a blind eye, why we can't leave well enough alone. Haven't they given us enough? There are people who believe that we are causing division and hate for bringing awareness to the experiences and struggles of our communities. They believe that we need to be polite and sacrifice everything that we are, our languages, identities, spirituality, cultures, and communities in order for us to be worthy of life, liberty, and justice. But for those of us who walk in this world with melanin-filled skin, who choose to love out loud or have obvious disabilities and differences, whatever they may be, we know that it doesn't matter how polite. It doesn't matter how educated or obedient or silent or how invisible we try to make ourselves. We are othered. For those of us with brown and black skin, the consequences of being othered are deadly because the color of our skin fills those who see it with a subconscious fear so deep that without even thinking, people clutch their purses or shoot on sight. Murder, rape, imprisonment, slavery, genocide, inequality, and injustice, that is why we are here. Because we need to assert that we will not be broken, defeated, eradicated. We do not raise our voices or our fists with hatred or division in our hearts. We raise them in radical, revolutionary love. And that love is so strong that it has called all of us here today, regardless of our backgrounds, regardless of our differences. Because we have come here to restore an innate link back to our humanity, because we were not born knowing how to hate or discriminate. We were not born believing that the moral aptitude or worthiness of life, liberty, and justice was determined by the color of your skin, sexuality, spirituality, wealth, or community. We were taught, and we can, and we are choosing to untangle ourselves from the web of colonization and oppressive power systems that are the very foundation of this nation. And we need to be unapologetically honest about our experiences, and that's what I'm going to do. Yesterday, as I walked around this city, I realized that as an indigenous woman from the Otoe, Missouri, and Choctaw nations, that I am in the belly of the beast. I am in the midst of a city so steeped in anti-indigeneity that it is a source of pride and tradition, where it is not only okay to use a racial slur that denigrates indigenous people, but it is celebrated. This is a city where the mockery of our identities, our cultures, and everything that our ancestors died for occurs on any given Sunday with no thought to the racism and harm they are perpetuating. This is a city and a nation that missed the irony of Washington Redskins players taking a knee while wearing a jersey that represents the racism and discrimination that we face as indigenous people. Now, some of you may be thinking that it's just a name, just a mascot. We have bigger issues, but representation matters. And it impacts our realities, both social, education, professional, even our political realities. We are less than 2% of the U.S. population, yet we are the most likely to be killed by police. And rates of homicide and sexual violence, incarceration, suicide, poverty are anywhere from 2 to 10 times the rate of national averages of any ethnic group. Our women and girls are murdered and disappeared. And just a few weeks ago, one of my aunts joined that number. And those losses hit our communities hard. And many believe that the progress made for and by other communities will trickle down to our communities. But that's not the reality. Because we are not asking whether or not justice is even possible on stolen lands. We are not working to envision what that will even look like. We are not working together. We do not know each other. We do not know how to communicate with each other. But we're trying. Over the last year, we saw that progress being made at Standing Rock. We saw people from all walks of life coming together to support one tribe. But that is just one tribe. There are over 567 more sovereign nations that need to be supported, who are battling pipelines in their own lands as well as other issues. We are facing the destruction of our land and water, and also our communities. As we support the movements and communities working toward justice for their people, we ask that you continue to support us, that you continue to remember us, as we assert that we are still here as Indigenous people. You know, one of the things that I really want people to understand is that we are less than 2% of the population. Our numbers are at 5 million among this entire U.S. population. And people don't understand the significance of that. But what those numbers means is that we have survived the maximum efforts of one of the world's greatest superpowers. We're still here. And we ask that we support, because we are in this together. And none of us are free until all of us are free. Thank you.
See, this isn't about us. This isn't about any one of us.